So, does the Smoky Mountains need yet another arcade? Let's take a look at Guy Fieri's DownTown, FlavorTown's newest attraction and see how it stacks up. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. If you've spent any amount of time in the Smoky Mountains, you might be aware of the extensive quantity of arcades in the area. From the full-size room below the Space Needle in Gatlinburg to the smaller arcades scattered all down the parkway. Close your eyes and throw a dime anywhere along the parkway and you're bound to hit one. So why are there so many arcades? And why are there so many in the Smokies? I mean, come on, we're in the middle of the Smoky Mountains. What more can you ask for? You're surrounded by beautiful mountains of green-blue trees. Everywhere you look, you're enveloped by the splendor of nature. Yet, when you drive down 441 or 321, you are bombarded with arcades, miniature golf, and kart racing. But having a change of scenery isn't all that bad, and that's the wonder of the Smokies. The area embraces two kinds of vacation goers: people who seek entertainment and those who want to be entertained. Though some would argue there isn't a difference between the two. I mean, when I take a hike up to the mountains, I'm looking to be entertained by their splendor. I just have to work a little harder to get it. And even though I enjoy a hike once in a while, I also just want to drive down to Pigeon Forge and walk around Dollywood or head up a ski lift to view the mountains from the top of Skylift Park. Both are entertaining, just one costs a lot more. And this video isn't about the mountains, but what is offered at the foot of the Smokies. Boundless forms of entertainment for those who, like me, sometimes just want to be entertained. Let's take a closer look at one of the newest attractions in Pigeon Forge, back behind the island off of Teaster Lane in the Mountain Mile Shopping Mall, Guy Fieri's DownTown, FlavorTown. Before I move on to talk more about FlavorTown, if you're enjoying this video, please help out by hitting that like button and subscribe to our channel. Each click helps our channel to grow. Okay. I've already pointed out that there are a ton of other arcades and entertainment venues down the parkway and in the lower elevations below the Smoky Mountains. So the question I want to ask is, why Guy Fieri put in another arcade in the Pigeon Forge area? And more importantly, is it worth checking out? The restaurant owner, Guy Fieri, is a very well-known celebrity. Even if you don't watch the Food Network or many cooking shows, the name or even the hairdo will tip you off. Guy Fieri has made a name for himself in the foodie community with his white bleached hair and confident swagger. He has cultivated an image that seems to be down to earth, a person who would be comfortable hanging out with the average person. Unlike some celebrity chefs, he isn't about yelling and insulting others, but trying to see the positive side in the businesses and foods he tries out. At least this is his image. Now, if this is the real Guy Fieri, I don't know. There are allegations that he has a poor temper and can be a difficult person to deal with. But when looking for real solid evidence of who this guy is, we can only guess about what is real and what is sensationalism caused by the media. He has been married to Lori Fieri since 1995, which is an eternity in the celebrity world. He has 2 biological children and adopted his nephew when his sister passed away. And though he has had many businesses that have lived and died, there aren't too many scathing things to say about how or why they failed. What I can say is that the surface image he presents to the public is that of a fairly normal business entrepreneur who has found success in the restaurant business, working his way to the top with grit, hard work, and a whole lot of luck. Now, exactly why Guy chose Pigeon Forge is not ever quite made clear. Unlike Dolly Parton, who has a personal history with the location, Guy Fieri seemed to have just pulled the town's name from a hat. The best I can come up with is that because of the partner of the company, whose name is actually Face, has other investments in the area and thought it would be a good location, which it really is. The Mountain Mile Mall has become a real attraction, growing at an exponential pace in the last few years, adding lots of great restaurants, attractions, and things for people to do and see. The location is also close to the island, but because it's on Teaster Lane, there isn't the same volume of traffic, at least for now, that you see on the Parkway. I see that changing quickly in the upcoming years, though. To be honest, the name is a mouthful, DownTown FlavorTown, but it's catchy. I'm not sure I would have named it that, as it's in Pigeon Forge, which has a population less than 7,000 people. Not exactly a big city. But when you walk into the place, you definitely don't feel like you're in the Smokies anymore. So maybe the name is fitting. There is no doubt that there's a lot of thought and money put into the design and decor of the place. The designers put different elements together to give you a big city coastal feel, with the big neon signs, wall art, and Vegas sequins. It feels like a big city. But then there's the cartoon statue of Guy and the big duck that tones down the city feel, reminding you that you are in a kid play zone. Finally, you're made to feel the ocean vibe with the straw tiki awning over the bar and the wicker wood in the lounge areas. So it's a mixed bag of theming. Now, the actual size of the inside is quite impressive. It's a 43,000 square foot space, and 10,000 of it is dedicated to the arcade. The first thing you see once you pass the lobby is a small store to your right, and the arcade is to the left. The store has a lot of little knickknacks and trinkets, a hodgepodge of totally tourist treasures. If you're a Jeep person, it's hard to pass up the Guy Fieri rubber duck. Of course, we ended up with this ducky and are now proud owners of a Guy Fieri rubber duck. From the sheer size of the place, I imagine it can get crazy busy. We ended up going during a slow time of the year and got the run of the place. But there is an insane amount of seating for guests inside, and there's a lot of room for large parties as well. Downtown FlavorTown is a restaurant, a bar, a faux bowling alley, which I will explain what I mean about that in a minute, and an arcade. They pack a lot of things in 43,000 square feet of space. And though the restaurant has been open since March of 2022, we didn't end up trying it right away. This kind of restaurant appeals to families and younger people. So we held off until they had a good year under their belt and worked out all the kinks. We also did not want to go when they were very busy. For a place owned and operated by a chef, the menu is actually pretty small, and the food choices are more what you would see at a diner. I guess since Guy does a lot of diner reviews, it makes sense, but the portion sizes are fairly decent, especially if you order some of the special dishes such as the nacho platters or waffle dishes. With the size and scale of the place, I imagine the simple menu is easier to mass produce hot foods and accommodate large parties. This is not fine dining, and people here are hungry and they want their food fast. I tried one of the burgers, the bacon mac and cheese burger. It was filling, but don't be surprised that you will pay more for this burger. It's one of their specialties. And for $20, it will get you a large burger smothered in cheese, macaroni and cheese, bacon, and any other sides you want to add, as well as the fries. The other burgers aren't quite as expensive. My dining companion tried the Philly steak. He was a little disappointed that they didn't use traditional cheese, instead added Parmesan sprinkled on the top. And since he doesn't like onions or peppers, it was a little dry. If you do get this dish and want more cheese, make sure you tell the waiter you want something different. We weren't aware of this at the time and would have asked if we knew. The arcade alone takes up over 10,000 square feet of space, and all the games are the newest and most popular games out there. If you're on vacation and need a vacation from your kids, this is the best place ever. The arcade is sitting right next to the tiki bar, so parents or people taking a break from the gaming can swing over there and hang out. Even better are the lounge areas. There are large round booths for big groups by the bar, and there are full lounge areas for people who want to sit and watch television from a couch or a wicker chair with a coffee table. You can pretend you are home while your kids are off playing the games. And that prize center is huge. I mean, look at the size of that store. I just want the car. How do I get that? Downtown FlavorTown also has a bowling alley. You will be surprised that there are a few bowling centers in the area. In the past few years, more bowling centers are popping up, accommodating families and people seeking family-friendly entertainment. Downtown is just one of many who are trying to find ways to draw in families. But their bowling center is a little different. It's called duck bowling. Instead of the traditional lanes, they have shortened lanes with bowling balls that are designed to be grabbed and held. There are no finger holes. Also, the pins are shorter. I admit this is the first time I have ever seen these kinds of lanes. So if you're looking for a traditional type of bowling, this will not be it. I can see younger kids enjoying it a lot, as they can grab the balls easier and they don't have to throw the balls as hard or far. There are 14 lanes and each lane has comfortable seating, but adults can have just as much fun. There are party rooms right next to the duck lanes. These rooms are for families who want to celebrate an important occasion. FlavorTown has packages you can pick that include arcade, food, and bowling combos. So, does Downtown FlavorTown offer enough to distinguish themselves from a crowd of arcade centers, bowling alleys, and other restaurants in the area? I guess to answer that question, you need to ask this one first. What kind of experience are you looking for? If all you want to do is enjoy a quiet dinner and have a drink while talking with friends or dining companions, then this might not be the ideal place to go. You will be surrounded with families, large groups of people, lots of noise, and people having fun. And did I mention the kids? Though there are a lot of adults who like to play arcade games, FlavorTown is going to draw in a lot of younger families and young adults who are there to drink a little or a lot and socialize. I'm not saying that you wouldn't enjoy it, but try going earlier in the day or on the weekdays. That way you can sit and actually enjoy the food. I enjoyed the experience and was happy we tried it, but we aren't big drinkers. We don't play arcade games and don't have little ones that would draw us back again. The food was decent, but it was basically food you'd find at bars and diners. If this isn't your vibe, it might not be for you. However, if you have younger people with you, love diner foods, or like arcade games, this place is really very cool and worth the visit. There's a lot to do, and if you aren't worried about your budget, there are hours of entertainment to be had. But if you are on a budget, you can still have fun, but it might be shorter than you'd like. FlavorTown isn't cheap. Those arcade games, duck bowling, and food will cost you a pretty penny. What I will say about the place is that it's colorful and has a great vibe. It can get extremely lively and draws in the higher energy flyers, so not really a place for folks who want a calm and quiet meal. But we enjoyed our experience and would consider going again for their burgers. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again for visiting us at Fairfax of the Smoky Mountains.